backed up against the brick wall, many of them looking at the ground to avoid Darius's gaze. He headed down the alley and out onto the sidewalk, glad to have left the stale atmosphere and noise of the club behind. He breathed in the crisp October air. It was tainted with car exhaust and the garbage that littered the streets of the city, but it was better than the stench of booze, chemicals, and sweat he'd left behind. Some days he cursed his preternatural senses. "Are you sure?" Even as he asked, he knew better. Tarrant would never have contacted him unless he was absolutely certain. "Technology is good for some things, brother. I've picked up chatter while monitoring some very particular online sites." There were places on the net that most people didn't realize even existed, used mostly by criminals, clandestine groups, and even some governments to keep conversations confidential. Tarrant knew where to find them all. Darius rubbed the back of his neck and started walking home. "Why now? Why after all this time? We knew the Knights wouldn't stay gone forever. They're like cockroaches. Just when you think you've killed them all, another one pops up." Darius almost smiled at Tarrant's comparison. "Keep me posted. You know I will. Have you contacted Ezra and Nicodemus?" He had no idea where his other two brothers were at the moment. They could be anywhere in the world. "I did. I heard back from Ezra, but Nick still hasn't checked in." That didn't surprise Darius. Nicodemus was probably somewhere warm, surrounded by adoring women. How his brother could stand being around people all the time was beyond him, but Nick seemed to enjoy it. "Let me know when you hear from him." "Will do. And Tarrant, be careful." Darius paused before crossing at the light. "I don't want to lose you." "You watch your back," his brother warned. "Always." Darius ended the call and shoved his phone back in his pocket. As he approached the glass and gilt luxury high-rise, the doorman leaped forward and pulled the door open. "Good evening, Mr. Varkas." He nodded. "John?" He didn't pause and continued past the bank of elevators until he came to the one at the very end. This was his private entrance. He placed his hand on the palm plate and waited until it verified his identity. He might not be fond of technology, but he damn well took advantage of it. When the doors silently slid open, he stepped inside. The ride up to the penthouse took only seconds. The steel doors slid open, and the lights came on as soon as he stepped inside. He was home. Just being here settled him. His gaze flowed around the room. There were floor-to-ceiling shelves on the far wall, containing treasures and mementos from his various trips around the world. The oversized sectional sofa and giant flat-screen television beckoned, but he bypassed them and headed straight to his office. This was his personal sanctuary. Shelves lined all four walls, and many were packed with books. Tall, clear vases were filled with beach glass from every corner of the earth. Shards of pottery, much of it ancient, filled two shelves. Chunks of raw ore were scattered about. This was only the tip of the iceberg, his most personal possessions. He had much more housed in various vaults and homes around the world. He stopped at the ornate wooden cabinet that served as his bar. It was inlaid with gold and had once belonged to an Egyptian pharaoh. It had been a gift from the man almost 3,000 years ago. Taharka had died young, but Darius had liked him. That was back when he'd still made friends with humans, before he'd watched too many of them grow old and die, or meet a violent death. Darius poured some 20-year-old Irish whiskey into a glass and tossed it back before pouring another. It was impossible for him to get drunk, but he did enjoy the burn and the taste. He went to the window and peered out over the city of New York. He'd made his home here for more than a decade. It would soon be time to move on. He'd lived all over the globe, seen all the wonders of the world, including some that humans had never seen.